to retire early, whatever early means. I mean, 45, 50. I mean, most people are retiring at what, 59 and a half? So you can start drawing from your Roth IRA, or 60, 62. Hey Ross, where my money makes money, the FIRE movement. What is the FIRE movement? Now, according to Wikipedia, I know that's not a good source, right? But this for the acronym. I'm reading the words from the acronym, and it simply means financial independency and retiring early. FIRE movement. Financial independency and retiring early. I have a lot of you out there who comment me and you have a plan. You have a 10-year plan, you have a 5-year plan, basically based upon the FIRE movement. You may not have known about the FIRE movement, or maybe you did, but your point is like, hey, I want to retire at 50. That is the new term that everybody's using in this new day and age, right? No one's looking at 60 like, well, 60, I don't know what my health is going to be. I don't want to wait until that long. We know that our health starts to degrade over the course of time. And you can be taking care of yourself, because I'm looking at a lot of people. Shout out goes out to Toni Morris and her family. Sorry for your loss. She just died at 88. I wish, I pray, I wish, I hope that I take care of myself good enough to live to 88. Because here's the thing. If I retire at 60, which most people do, 60 to 62, right? Basically, from the time I retire and I'm an elderly man, I only have 18 years to live, or maybe 20 something years to live, right? After I retire. I worked my entire life. I can recall me doing odd jobs in DC, shoveling people's snow, taking out people's trash in the fall, raking people's leaves, right? So from the age of like 12, I've been working, okay? Working probably earlier than that, but I can recall 12 doing all these odd jobs, lifting furniture, moving people, etc. So I worked my entire life just to enjoy 20 years of not doing anything. Now, granted, throughout these years, I've taken vacations, I've visited other countries, I've experienced delicious food in different countries and places and restaurants around the nation and also abroad. But I've never had a time where I could take 3 months off and be like, yeah, I'm just going to relax. I'm going to summit Mount Rainier. I'm going to do a sabbatical. I'm going to read 10 books, where take 3 and 4, 5, 6 months off. So most people have their bucket list of all the things they want to do once they retire. Now, hopefully, we are mentally, physically, and emotionally in great health to do those things after we retire at 60. Some of these things you may not be physically able to do. Like, there was a guy on his bucket list, I think he was 99, and for his 100th birthday, he skydived, okay? He did a tandem jump. That's when somebody's attached to your back. He did a tandem jump, and he did it for a 100th birthday. It was he was excited. He was, very, very happy to do that. But he's one of the few that can make it that far and still knock all stuff off his bucket list. So for most of us, we're using the FIRE movement to push our finances to a point where we can retire at 50. We can retire at 55 and be comfortable, meaning the house is paid. We don't have to worry about that. We just need enough money to pay property tax and then those utilities that we always talking about. But most of you want to travel. You want to visit all these different countries to see how the economy is, see how the people is. Now, my first choice is either Africa or South America. Now, I've been to a lot of continents, and I've been to a lot of countries. Like, I've been to Asia, okay? I've done Asia, I've done Europe. I'm done with that. Now, I'm focusing on South America and Africa. Boom. I want to go to a couple of countries within those continents. So, needless to say, the FIRE movement should be based upon my 4 tiers of money, right? Having little as debt as possible, unless you're starting a business, then debt can actually be used for good, for the production and the startup and the productivity that you're going to use that loan money to booster your company off the ground. Because a lot of times you just can't save that amount of money. Okay, so you might need to borrow to get that sort of money, or maybe you're trying to buy houses or multifamily houses or flip houses, and you need a lump sum of cash, and you'll be profitable about it. As long as you have a good business plan, you have some contingencies, I believe that you'll be okay. So there is a form of good debt. I've been going back and forth with this No debt, good debt, bad debt. I'm gonna stick to this. Sometimes debt can be good depending on what you're doing with it and then paying it off, okay? Then the second thing is budgeting. The biggest point to a FIRE movement is budgeting. You have to have a budget in order to retire earlier than what the nation usual age is, right? 60. So you're trying to retire 10 years early, they say 15% of your salary you need to be saving in a 401k or some sort of investment account. If you're going to do 10 years, then I was just automatically, I won't even do the numbers on paper. I say, you know what? I need to do at least 25. I'm going to add 10% because I'm taking away 10%, but the number may be more like 30%. So depending on how much you make a year, you may have to save and invest 30% of your salary in order to retire at 50. But these are the sacrifices that you should be making if this is your thing. If retiring early is your thing, some of you like, oh, I love my job. It really doesn't matter if I do it from 20 to all the way to 60 or 70. And you're an exception of the rule. A lot of people don't like their job. They don't like what they're doing, but it could be really good money, really good benefits. So they say, you know what? I'm gonna ride this horse until it dies. I'm gonna ride this horse till it croaks. I'm gonna ride this horse till it don't jump no more. So depending on what profession, what sector, what industry, whatever you're doing, and you know you're making good money, maybe you want to look into the FIRE movement where you're not coming into a job every day stressed, depressed, and down. Because the FIRE movement is going to boost your mindset based upon saving, investing, and minimizing your debt. Okay? That is the only way that you can go there with the 4 tiers of money. That's lowering your debt, getting out of debt, making a solid budget for 50, saving your money for that emergency cash, and also investing aggressively to get that percentage so where you know you can take care of yourself until that day and time comes where you no longer need it. So I want you to think about the FIRE movement, but I want you to understand the mindset about the FIRE movement. It's not just saying, oh, I want to retire early. Okay, I want to retire early. No, it's so much more than that. It's very complicated. It takes a lot of sacrifices, and a lot of you have the mindset, well, I'm not going to sacrifice no more than I'm already am. I want to live my life. I want to have fun. Now, some of the things that you probably do every year, every quarter, every month, you may have to eliminate that. You may have to decrease those things in volume, because if you're thinking about retiring early, you have to make huge sacrifices. And I hope you understand that. But the benefits is, while you're all traveling the world, having a great time on beautiful beaches, great sceneries, and the wonderful elements of the world, your counterparts, your friends, your family, they're going to a job that they don't even like. Most of them. And they're still working until 60, sometimes even 70 years of age. So, you should learn money and be inspired. And maybe if you haven't heard of the FIRE movement, maybe you want to do some research, because maybe this may be the thing for you. This is Ross World. I'm out.